You're listening to the True North Success Podcast. Real stories of personal, professional, and financial wins from Alberta's best. With your hosts, Gary Ma and Amy Kim.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. Today, my special guest is Nick Kazakoff. He is a co-founder of 126 Design and Loop Phone Booths. He believes that great design has the power to instrument a positive change. He strives to create objects with simplicity and elegance and beauty through a function to create form approach. The most beautiful and successful products come from collaboration, and he enjoys working with individuals who understand the value that designers bring to the table. It's a real great pleasure to have him on the show today. Welcome, Nick.
Thanks for having me, Amy. Pleasure to be here.
Awesome. So, Nick, I gave a brief overview of your success story. So, what can you fit in the detail of what your business is all about?
Yeah, so we're based in Edmonton, and we're primarily a design and manufacturing company. The business was founded by myself and my business partner 11 years ago, actually out of his garage. It was just two of us. His garage was on 126th Street, and that's where the name 126 comes from. Over the last 11 years, we've scaled our business. We've developed a manufacturing facility here in Edmonton, and we design and build a variety of different products from our facility here. Primarily focused on the commercial office space with our office pods, which I'm sitting in one of them here right now. And we ship product across Canada and internationally as well too, across the world. So all still made and proudly designed right here in Edmonton.
Awesome. I'm always interested in how individual that get into and why it is so important to what motivates to get into that industry. So could you share a little bit about your backstory?
Yeah, so my backstory, I studied industrial design at the University of Alberta. That's where I actually met Brendan. Both of us actually teach industrial design at the U of A now as well too, trying to give back to that community a little bit. Excuse me. Industrial design to me, I was always really interested in making things and designing stuff as a kid. I didn't realize that it was a career path until I went to university and was able to take some courses and understand a little bit more about what it was. And then from there, I think that Brendan and myself, recognized an opportunity in the market to create our own company. We were both working full-time jobs at the time and wanted to be a little bit more creative in what we were doing. So we started the business while still kind of working full-time jobs, and then hustled until the point in time where we could leave those jobs and kind of focus full-time on the business. So I never thought I would be an entrepreneur. Never thought I would be a business owner, but I've learned a lot over the past 11 years of building a company.
Awesome. There are a lot of competitions in the design, and often I would think that Edmonton market is not big. So what do you really feel that really sets you apart from the rest of?
Yeah, so from other industrial design studios, there really isn't any other ones in Edmonton. Areas that are probably a little bit more well known, I would say, in Canada for industrial design would be areas like Vancouver or Toronto or Montreal. But the fact is that Edmonton has a really fantastic industrial design program here at the University of Alberta. A lot of the students who study there, unfortunately, leave for jobs elsewhere. They go to New York or, Toronto or, someplace else to practice industrial design. But there's really no reason why a company can't be successful here doing it. And I think that the interesting pairing with that is that Edmonton does have some really strong manufacturing, which goes hand in hand with industrial design. And we were able to learn a lot and build a company in that way.
Wow, that's awesome. Very inspiring. So, for anyone listening to who is feeling, so I realized that I'm listening to you that you guys are helping and bring some improvement in the design. So anyone listening to who is feeling overwhelmed or distracted struggle to focus at work? Because I noticed that your one of the focus is industrial design at office. So what advice would you give to them? Like any simple ways to create some more privacy or come in their way?
Yeah, so certainly, like as people are heading back to work, uh, most people aren't working full time in office. There's typically a hybrid approach. People are starting to realize that there is a need for private spaces for confidential conversations or to focus or to just get away from the noise that typically would be in an office. So we design products and manufacture products, being the phone booth, that is a great solution to that. I think generally, if when you are working in office, I think the definition of office has changed a little bit. So in the past, it's really been focused on productivity ultimately, whereas now the definition of office is more focused around building team collaboration, growing mentorship, those types of factors. Of course, you still need to have some focus time as well too, but it's really important that if you are going into the office, it's a really great place to work, that you can get work done, but you ultimately want to be part of and engage in a culture that's what makes work really enjoyable. So I think that the office needs to help earn people's attention to and a reason to go back in and kind of commute to the office. So I guess for people who are feeling overwhelmed, I think it's really about understanding what they're trying to get out of their office experience, talking to their management or other groups and providing ideas of, okay, this is maybe how we could make the office more conducive to what we're trying to accomplish as a group. And then I think it's really just about having that open dialogue and understanding what you're trying to get out of the office when you are going in.
Awesome. And you mentioned the phone booths. So can you give us a little more idea that how the phone booths was designed for and how it is serving other people and helping?
Yeah, so we designed the first office pod about 8 or 9 years ago. Probably closer to 10 years ago now. And it was originally designed for open concept spaces, which are still quite popular. There has been some changes and adaptation in that approach to design, we'll say over the last 4 or 5 years. So it was kind of fitting within a pretty niche market. We were hired by a company to come up with a solution for privacy within their spaces, and we designed the first pods and sold it to that company. We quickly realized that there was an opportunity in the market for a product like this. So we created a website, and then that's really when the ball started to roll around taking orders, building it, fabricating it. At that point in time, it was just the two of us. And then we realized, okay, well, we could grow a business around this brand that we created called Loop Phone Booths. And then we kind of started to scale things from there. So it was designed initially to meet that need, for private office space. It's mobile, so you don't have to have contractors come in there and build the space. It's compact, it has really nice finishes, and it creates a really sound, reducing environment for you to work on, to take those video calls and to feel at your best while you're doing it.
Awesome. So, like from the start and all the way to find the niche market and ever to now that expanding that market, I bet there are a lot of challenges that you had to overcome. So could you share with us that what is one of the biggest challenges you have had to overcome in your career?
Yeah, so I think that some of the biggest challenges that I've had to overcome, certainly it's growing the business and finding the right people for the right roles. I think that's, you talk to a lot of business owners and they'll say often similar things. It's one thing if you're trying to do it all yourself and you kind of have control over things, but as soon as you start adding employees and team members, that's when things really change and shift. And it's about understanding and being able to communicate your vision and what you're trying to create to a group of people who are motivated, believe in your purpose as an organization, and really want to drive the business forward. So I think the biggest challenge for us is, it's always been finding really great people who believe in our cause. Luckily, we have been able to do so. Certainly there's a lot of lessons and kind of learning throughout that, but the team that we have right now is fantastic. And I think that's really what's helped us be successful and kind of be able to grow the business. It's the right people in the right seats. you often hear that phrase, and that's really what I believe in was our biggest challenge.
Awesome. Yes, a lot of small businesses are struggling to scale from Papa and Mama's business. So I really appreciate that sharing with us your insightful ideas and knowledge. So it sounds like things are going very well with you and for your business and for your partners. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. So many business, the professionals and the business owners are earning strong incomes right now, but it often requires a significant investment of time and energy. So looking ahead, a common goal is to maintain that same level of income and the lifestyle that while working less, especially with the inflation at all-time high. So as a result, many people are exploring ways to generate income outside of their primary work, and such as investing in stocks and cryptocurrency or precious metal or real estate. What are your thoughts about income outside of work?
Yeah, so I think that's a good question. Like for me personally, we focus almost exclusively on the business and really building it to be successful. I think that we find a lot of value in that purpose of driving our business and organization forward, and that's different for different people. I think originally, much like many of these other people, we started this company off the side of our desk while we were working full-time jobs. So I think do what you're really passionate about. I think that certainly you have to have a certain threshold for what you feel comfortable with as far as finances go. That's important to have. But I think that if you aren't doing something that you truly love and truly enjoy, you're not going to find the fulfillment that you need. So for me, I do honestly say this. I love my job. It never feels like work here when I'm here. I enjoy it a lot. I have a family as well too. I have a wife and I have a son that I devote, a lot of time to as well too. And when you're starting a business, it is a lot of work. You have to really be in the headspace to be able to commit to long hours. I was doing a lot of travel. I still do quite a bit of travel for work. And you have to have that family support system in place that really believes in what you're doing as well too. I think that's key and critical and more important. Certainly I work a little bit less hours than I did when we were starting the company, which was nonstop. But I still there are still weeks as a business owner, 11 years in, that I'm putting in long days, long hours, and you have to have family and support that believes in that and understands it as well too. I think that's key, really, really key and important.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so as we are wrapping up our interview, what exciting plans or initiatives do you have coming up over the next 6 to 12 months?
Yeah, so over the next 6 to 12 months, we're going to continue to scale the business. We're looking at other international markets that we'll be potentially entering. We are still developing our industrial design services. So we've brought on some key team members that will help build out that side of the business. So Loop is a good portion of what we do, but we still do offer industrial design services. So if there are clients or people that are looking at building a product, they have an idea, they have a great idea, but don't really know how to get it off the ground, we really support in that. And we've been over the last couple of years really developing that muscle as well too. So we're excited to continuing to help industrial design customers and people who are looking for new products, as well as expanding into new markets with Loop and launching some new products. So there's going to be a lot of things and changes that we're working on over the next 12 to 24 months that we've planned for, and we have the right stuff in place to really continue to grow. We are focused on growth. I think some businesses are pretty happy with steady income, and you got to that point, you're past the 10-year mark, you're focused. But I think that if you're not constantly focused on innovation and growth, you can quickly become obsolete with competitors. So we always want to be a step ahead, and that's what we're going to continue to do.
Awesome. Yeah, very inspiring. So if people would like to connect with you, how they can get a hold of you?
Yeah, so I think I would suggest that people are interested in industrial design. I would say definitely follow us on Instagram. We have a 126 Instagram. If you are interested in office furniture design or workplace design, you can follow our Loop Phone Booths Instagram. You can also reach out to us on our website. We have contact pages both on our 126 .design website as well as our loopphonebooths.com website. So those are the best ways to get in touch with me. Or you can honestly as well too just reach out to me on LinkedIn. Happy to chat with people there as well.
Okay, awesome. So thank you so much, Nick. It was a great pleasure having you on the podcast and hearing share your insights and experience with us. We truly appreciate your time and the perspective you brought to the conversation.
Great. Thanks so much, Amy.
Want to share your success story? Apply to be a guest at truenorthsuccessshow.com/guest. We'd love to hear from you.